And I really want to fix that.
Okay, you're fixing it by paying it back, and you just gotta. So you'll be able to pay $200 today.
Yes.
Okay. What can we do about? What can you do to convince me that you can pay a consistent amount so that we can set?
We've been spinning wheels here for 4 years, Your Honor. She's been on probation for 10 years. The MTRP has been pending for 4. She constantly makes promises that she's going to pay, and she's not paying.
Okay, this isn't. A motion to revoke probation, that is odd here. It was filed and it's never been, we never moved forward on it. It's been held in abeyance because she is paying back the hefty restitution.
Yes.
And back in 2020, the defendant was in arrears almost $70,000 from the original $83,000. And this is all about restitution.
Yes.
And where are we on this now?
Restitution remains at $38,100.
So from 2020, it's been reduced then from 68,000 to 30-something thousand. Is that right? You have to speak out, ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, but okay.
She's paid a total of $45,727 on restitution.
Okay, from the beginning to now.
Yes.
And the balance today is
$38,111.05.
all right. So how much are you paying a month on that?
I haven't paid anything for the last couple of months.
Why not?
My other bills hit me hard and I didn't have anything left over when I was done.
What are we doing about this? Because this keeps you out of prison. Your payments on this.
Everything.
And I mean, people have a right under the law to get paid back if you're going to be put on probation. And there's a way of handling this. Your probation gets revoked. Is that what we want to do? You're looking at up to 10 years in prison. But this is important. You have to work it out somehow, that these people need to get some consistent payments. When is that going to happen, ma'am?
I'll start making my payments today.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to be able to, I know it's not easy. It's a struggle, but
It's not going to be much today,
but
I will.
once again, you know, this started out with $84,000 in loss. What was your job?
Wait tables.
Yeah. And okay. This, yeah, I remember this case. Well, that's a lot of money that was embezzled. And the way you fix it is to pay them back. But there's an alternative when you don't pay them back, but those people need to get paid. So how much are you paying immediately?
Right now I have $200. Outside of that, I have to let you know. I make some more money.
Okay. What are you doing about the income? Tell me about that. I'm going to be firm, but I mean, we got to be realistic. Sometimes people are unable to get the kind of income, acquired income like we hope, especially to pay this back. But I know how the people who are victimized feel. They just, that's stealing. And that was in a position of trust that you betrayed.
And I really want to fix that.
Okay, you're fixing it by paying it back, and you just gotta. So you'll be able to pay $200 today.
Yes.
Okay.
If this courtroom trial has you hooked, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more intense trials and shocking outbursts. Your support means a lot to us. Thanks.
What can we do about? What can you do to convince me that you can pay a consistent amount so that we can set for the bar so that you can get over the bar? What can you tell us anything yet?
I'm still working toward, getting my divorce finalized so that I can sell a property. I would have sold some of the stuff that we had, but I thought I would be in contempt of court and a violation of my probation if
By what?
selling some of the properties before the divorce was final.
Oh,
I would,
who told you that?
my,
Who told you?
lawyer told me not to do anything until it was final.
That was not
Yeah.
this lawyer.
Glenn Crocker, he told me not to sell anything.
Well, he's your lawyer now. Maybe you ought to get a second opinion about all of that. Because you get paid, you fix this and we're off your back. Wouldn't that be nice? And I'm not sure, I don't know if there's any rules that will prevent that. I'm sorry about
And I'm
that
not involved
advice.
in the family matter.
Sir.
I'm not involved. I don't do family law, so I'm not involved in the family matter.
My prior experience in that regard, Judge, says that if they had a restraining.
What does it, Mel? You do that all.
Standing temporary injunction
Yes, sir.
not to do that.
But, okay, there's a way of handling a temporary injunction. You go into that court and you ask them for relief, and then they decide whether they can give you relief or not under this. Every circumstance is unique. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but you got to come up to bat before you can hit a home run.
Do I need to speak to,
Maybe you need to talk to them about getting you in front of, but we're not going to, but a judge can modify orders under circumstances that are in the best interest of the parties and that are allowed. So
I just didn't want to go into,
how long has this divorce been pending?
over a year and a half.
Yeah. My God, what's the holdup? You don't have children you're dealing with, right?
Yeah.
She's an adult now.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing like prolonging misery because people need relief. Generally, if that's what they are insistent upon, but holding it up seems odd under your circumstance, but,
I don't understand why.
is it in this county?
No, it's in Hart. Judge Stover's court.
Okay. Anything else? Yeah.
We've been spinning wheels here for 4 years, Your Honor. She's been on probation for 10 years. The MTRP has been pending for 4. She constantly makes promises that she's going to pay and she's not paying. What I would recommend is that this deferred probation, as I explained to her, the deferred probation be revoked. She be placed on a regular probation to give her the opportunity to pay the $42,000 that she owes. She's been telling me that she's waiting on divorce settlement. I just don't.
We converted that. I don't think I can give her another day. She's already been on probation for 10 years.
She's on deferred probation.
I know.
Currently.
I'm not aware you can be on probation for a longer term if the motion is not pending.
This motion is currently pending.
You can, I believe you can restart the clock if you go from deferred to straight, Judge.
The total length of time, you're telling me the total length of time can be 20 years of somebody on supervision under this without a pending case,
If a court,
without a pending motion? I know pending motions toll, but when you convert it, I think the statute says the length of probation is no longer than 10 years, but that's another matter that's another matter. This motion, I'm not changing the motion right now. The motion, unless somebody can show me that she has money available that she did not pay with, but I'd like to, it sounds like there's an avenue of relief for all of us if you have some property that can be liquidated and then used to pay this off. I mean, is the property valuable? Is there a lot of value to it?
Well, travel trailer and tractor, a couple of motorcycles that were part of the community property.
Okay.
Never considered mine, but it was community property. Few other folks.
Okay. Well, is that all of that add up to $40,000?
Yeah.
Well, depending upon how much of that the court deems that you get out of your share, I guess. But you're going to apply that toward this restitution, whatever you get. Well, Scott, you might want to touch base with
I will touch base with
lawyers over there to see, because I want to review this in 30 days just to see where we are on this. And then you're going to pay 200 today, right? Okay. That's all we're going to do is right now on this.
The next time I'll try to come with information from the family attorney.
Thanks. Okay. Get a resetting. Thank you. Austin Collette. File. Let's get it filed, then we'll order it to be processed, and then he'll have a PR bond. Okay. That's what I'm going to do, Bruce.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
On this tomorrow, I've got 3 cases here, and there's an officer. And this is another matter of restitution. I guess this is restitution day. And wow. Hit me with your best shot from the probation office. So the defendant is present with Mr. Smith, her attorney, and the state's attorney. I'm just going to tell you that the victim in this case has contacted this court stating she's not happy with the restitution.
Well, I have a report
I didn't,
to give.
I couldn't tell you anything. I asked, okay, that's all I can tell you is I'll pass that on to the probation office, which I think I did. And immediately, and that's the only conversation because I don't see Ms.
Well,
Henderson.
I have good news in that regard.
Good. Now I can use some good news.
Your Honor, I had earlier written a letter to the court. I thought I might need the court to amend its terms of the terms of probation, but since then, it turns out I do not need. So
Thanks so much. Appreciate you.
you're welcome, Your Honor. My client told me that, well, I submitted a thing to the court showing that beginning tomorrow, my client has arranged to make a $36,000 payment on her restitution tomorrow.
Okay.
And the same payment of $36,000 will be paid at the same time on the 18th of each year. Now, during that period, that if she was just to do that, the restitution would be paid in full on January the 18th of 2029. However, when I did that schedule, I didn't realize that my client had planned on continuing making her $400 a month payments in addition to that. And so that would mean that it would be moved up. It'd be paid a lot quicker than from January 18th to 2029.
What is, we've got 2 different victims here, right? 3 cases, but MetLife is a victim, right? In 2 cases?
Well,
And then
the
Ms.
only
Henderson-
victim we're aware of, Judge, is Ms. Henderson.
Okay. Is she the only one? Oh, what's the total restitution owed to her?
Total restitution started at $199,000 and is now down to $184,197.
Yeah, I can understand how she's would not be satisfied. And I'm going to tell you, I've known her. I don't know you very well, but you always seem to be a nice lady. And I'm sad to see that the family situation is what it is. But Miss Henderson is I know her just to be a very reputable lady, classy lady, and I don't know otherwise from you, but this is a terrible event, and I hate to see it with a family. I hope somehow all this can get fixed, but when is this, now, how is all this happening?
If you're still with us, make sure to like and subscribe to keep up with more shocking courtroom trials. Your support keeps us going. Don't miss out on what's next.
My client, a couple has come in, contacted me, and is going to help her. These are people, this is a couple that the court knows. They want to remain anonymous, however.
That's good. I'd rather, the less I know, the better. And that sounds like a
Court
very generous.
Know that they did say that they'd be happy to meet with you in chambers.
I'd rather them be anonymous.
Yes.
I think that's, if they're anonymous, those are the most blessed ones, I think, people anonymously. Those are kind of biblical. But in this one, it's obvious that there's not a doubt that we have an obligation that needs to be paid. And that lady has a right to get her money, the loss. And you have an obligation when a law has been broken to satisfy your obligation. The alternative is 10 years in prison, right?
Yes, sir.
Which kind of prevents you from paying back. Tell me about this 36,000 thing, or
36, the $36,000 is going to be paid on tomorrow. The first 36,000, that'll be paid annually on the 18th of each January thereafter. She is going to continue to make her monthly payments, which have been $400 a month.
Has she been doing that?
Yes.
Regular? Is that the most you can pay monthly?
Yes.
She even has to work sometimes 2 jobs. You know?
I've worked 3
Well, I know,
jobs.
so did I, but I just wanted to let you know that she is paying the absolute most that she can pay. So this is a godsend for both her and the sinners.
What other assets do you have that you can pay the lady back?
I don't own anything. I rent. I worked 3 jobs. I've excelled in all 3 of those jobs. I volunteer still continually when I can. I'll do it. I pick up side jobs when I can.
Well, I guess it'd be nice to see that $36,000. You said that's going to happen tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, what the court's going to do is then order it to be received, or order it to be submitted tomorrow to the probation office. That's a condition of your probation. You're telling me something. I'm going to hold you accountable. That's going to be paid tomorrow. That's a condition of probation, that will be paid tomorrow and then distributed as soon as possible to the victim.
Yes, sir.
Number 1. Number 2, a condition of probation with this information is that 36,000, is it 36?
Yes, Your Honor.
Why is it that amount? Do I need to know that, or?
I could tell you, Judge, but I have to tell you, Chambers.
All right. That's the most. So 36,000 is going to be applied every January?
On January the 18th.
On January the 18th. That will be a condition of probation. Plus, of course, that you continue your regular monthly obligations. And I want an updated financial statement done so that that's signed, so that if you don't honor it, or if we find out that it's not accurate under oath, then you can be held for perjury as well. But we're pressing. I think it's been far too long that this loss shouldn't have happened in the first place. But the thing about restitution too is you got $200,000 that under the rules of law, it's the way they are, which are different from federal court, and that you're paying that back dollar for dollar, and there is no interest attached for the loss of the money, which is a crime, I think, in itself. I think that's terrible. I don't know why the legislature doesn't do what the federal government does, and they end up having an assessment of interest that compounds. And people never get out of the hole there, but the loss of money over time is paying it back dollar for dollar. You're still in the hole, and you're victimized forever. But that's the rule, and it's the legislature. Are there any other way of getting assets to the victim from this lady that can be applied for this restitution?
No, yeah, it's not. We thoroughly explored that. Not at this time.
You want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm
Miss Henderson's here. Okay, well, it's unusual, but I want her to be. I want her to be aware of this. She's the injured party. She is entitled for everything to be forthright and up front. And I'm pleasantly surprised that $36,000 is going to happen. If it does, I'll believe it when I see it, though.
Yes.
You're gonna, yeah.
It's going to happen.
Well, okay. Then that's one small step for man.
One question.
Yes, ma'am.
Received anything in 3 months? How is that being paid regularly?
She's paid.
That's a good point.
There was an issue with the way that she was paying at the end of the month, which I needed to talk to you about today.
Well, you need to talk to who about me?
No, Miss Morrow.
Okay.
She just has to pay a little bit earlier or wait just a little bit longer with the way the payments come in because all her fees are going to restitution. We had to do a debtor form to get the 400 change from supervision fees to restitution.
She's paid.
She is paying.
She paid October, November, and December.
Yes.
But it didn't get to Miss Henderson?
Yeah. It was changed on the 8th of January.
So why didn't it get to Miss Henderson?
Just because from what I understand, what I was told, she paid on the 31st of December and it was put to supervision fees and transfer fees instead of going to the restitution.
Restitution, I want it always to be foremost.
And that's how it should be. But there was an error because she paid online.
Okay, so how are we fixing that?
The form was completed.
Okay, the form was complete. What about those other amounts?
They should be also changed. I'll have to get with bookkeeping to come.
Okay, so bookkeeping is going to do that, and then it will be made up.
Yes.
That loss will be packaged together.
Yes,
from the bookkeeping change.
Yes, sir.
And then she's going to get an additional amount of money for those last 3 months.
Yes, sir.
When can that be done?
As soon as I get back to.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am? You have a voice.
It's just frustrating that no matter what she ever does, she lays back on her feet. She finds somebody to pay it off. And it's just disgusting to me that she's not making work and pay it.
Well,
She worked real hard to steal it. Thank you, Judge, for letting me say so.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Well, get that.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, it's important that it gets done, and I hope all of. No. Anything else?
No, yeah.
What can you say? It's a broken family that this court hates to see. But I can understand. And that's going to take some time, but y'all need to fix that. Truly. Because families, very special entity that takes everybody to keep it together. And she's been victimized and that an extraordinary amount of money. And that needs, y'all need to resolve that in a familial way. That's so that, because it's got to bother everybody. Especially after this season. I mean, we all ought to be reminded how special families are. And how it's important.
It took 10 years, 2 women, and 1 fed-up courtroom to get this far. But will accountability finally win over delay? Or will it be another chapter in a story full of second chances? Let us know in the comments. What do you think is fair in a case like this? Thanks for joining us and witnessing this intense courtroom moment. If this trial got you thinking, be sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. Stay tuned for more gripping courtroom moments as we continue to bring you the most shocking trials. See you in the next one.